I'm Katrina, this is So and Tare, and today I want to share my artichoke story with you. Yes, I said artichoke story. And at the end I'm going to be asking you what your artichoke story is, so pay attention. When I was growing up, my mom always soaked artichokes before we cooked them. It was a step in the process, it was how you did it, how it was always done. We always steamed our artichokes and they were always soaked half an hour, 45 minutes before we steamed them. So we'd have little bobbing artichokes in the sink filled with water before they even went into the steamer. Now, a lot of people don't even know why you would do this. I didn't know why I did it. Neither did my mom. I was preparing my artichokes just like I had my whole life until at one point someone asked me, it's windy here, someone asked me, well, why? Why are you soaking the artichokes? I don't know. And I didn't know. So I called my mom. Hey, why do we soak artichokes? That's because we've always done it that way. I don't know. So she called her mom. Hey, why do we soak artichokes? Well, my grandma's answer was pretty funny and matter of fact. Well, we always soaked artichokes because we got our artichokes from the neighbors and they had ants. It's a great story. So, every time I make artichokes now, I think of my mom and my grandma, and it's kind of a funny, silly memory. And it's something that happens every single time. Why we do things are partially the product of history. So why do we do things a certain way? You know, why did we soak our artichokes? Our artichokes didn't have ants, but we soaked them anyway. And sometimes we continue this behavior even after it's unnecessary, and we know it's unnecessary. So another example would be the ball canning lids, the metal lids. No longer, they say you no longer have to simmer them before using them. And then I still do. Honestly, most of the time I use harvest guard lids anyway, that they're the reusable kind. But sometimes I'll use the ball lids and yeah, I still heat them up. So times change, techniques change, all of these things change. There's a lot of things that are important to know that change, like the canning rules. Canning is a whole nother thing. I'll put a link down below to the National Center for Home Food Preservation, and if you're at all interested in food preservation and canning specifically, definitely visit that website, and there are approved ways of doing things there. I also have an intro to canning kind of playlist, so I'll put that up here in the corner, and if you are interested in doing that, definitely check those out, because there are some things that matter. And then there's some things like soaking an artichoke that do not matter. It does not make the process any worse. It doesn't make it taste any worse, any better if you soak your artichoke before you steam it. Okay? So kind of want to talk a little freely about this subject of doing things because that's how they've always been done. And some of that is harmless, like the artichoke, and some of that can change. So things like agriculture, modern agriculture is a monoculture, you know, there's one crop in a field. Well, that has some challenges to it. There's a lot of pesticides being used, a lot of herbicides being used because of the monoculture nature. It's easier to harvest, it's faster to harvest, so there are those reasons. However, on the personal scale, on the small scale, you can grow a lot of your food without herbicides, without pesticides, and it works. And it works by growing things not as a monoculture. Monoculture means one plant in one field, right? So if you can interplant with different things, then that will be better. And it will confuse the insects, it will get you better pollination, it'll do all sorts of things. So that type of thing, oh, we've always done it this way, we've always done a monoculture, we've always put on the same pesticides throughout the whole field, or fertilizers throughout the whole field. You know, there's ways you can make that better, and it would be good to update your thinking on that, because it's healthier, it's better for the soil, it's better for the plants, it's better for us. And so on that note, I think it does actually matter. But there's a whole bunch of things out there that we might have differing opinions on how to do things, or there might be many different ways to do things. So like one example is I raise quail in aviaries. There's a lot of people that raise quail in cages. One is not right and one is not wrong. There are advantages and disadvantages of both. So just because someone has done something one way forever does not mean that another way is necessarily better or worse. It could be different. And so I want to kind of just reach out to you guys and ask, what are your artichokes? What are the things that you have heard in your life about whatever? We're going to stick with homesteading topics here. That either you had wrong and you're like, okay, I always thought I was supposed to soak these things and I was wrong, I didn't have to. You know, tell some funny stories maybe. What are some things that you have questions about? So your question is, why do we blah, blah, blah? You know, why do we soak the artichoke? So if you either have questions about the why of doing things, or if you have a story to tell about your own experiences figuring things out, I would like to hear that. And what I'd like for you guys to do is put down in the comments your experiences with your own artichoke story, and then also come back to this video later and see what other people have written, and maybe there's some questions there that you are better equipped to answer than me, or maybe our answers are different. So I want to leave that in discussion here and hope that people are helpful and we all learn something, because without someone asking me why I soak my artichokes before steaming them, I would never have known why. I would never have known it wasn't necessary. I also may have never have known to tell you guys, if you don't want ants, soak them for half an hour to 45 minutes. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, little short video, and I really, really want people to get thinking about the way they're doing things, the why of why they're doing things, and also share your differences. So if you tried something one way and you prefer a different way, or if you're still trying to figure out which way is the best way to do something, share that and let us help you out, and it'll be fun. So if you liked the video, please hit the thumbs up, and if you put a comment down below, I would appreciate it. And yeah, let's help each other out. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please consider subscribing and hitting bell notifications, select all, because we want you to get all the content. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day.